I think what I valued most was the experiential part. We got to actually create ceremonies and practice them and get feedback on them. And it just gave me a really good overall feel for the program, and that I had the ability to do those ceremonies.
We had to create a ceremony, and perform it in front of everybody. So they would give us a fictional person or couple or whatever, and give us, just a few little facts about who this person or people were. But it really promoted our creativity. We were paired together, and I found it really fun because we kind of had to, since we kind of knew who these people were, but we had to really kind of play and have fun to figure out who we had to really kind of play and have fun to flesh out who these people were in order to, turn them into real people, to be able to create a ceremony for them. And that was a lot of fun. It actually was kind of hard a lot of times to be able to put all these different segments of the ceremony together. So it was fun, it was hard, it was challenging, and it was really kind of like trial by fire sometimes, and it really kind of pushed me to just get in there and do it. Because it's really easy to go take a class, but if you don't actually do it once you get done, it's it's really not helpful if you don't actually know what it's like to do it at the end. So I found that hugely important.
I really enjoyed everything about the program, but one of the things that I keep going back to whenever I think about the impact was just the thoughtfulness that was put into all of the materials, into all of the ceremonies, and giving us examples. And yeah, I really just appreciated all of the time and effort, because at the end of the program, I came out ready and able to perform ceremonies. Since going through the ministerial training, I've officiated 2 weddings, and I'm about to officiate my 3rd.
I got an amazing book, and with guidelines for weddings, for funerals, for sitting with a dying person, for coming of age ceremonies, for elder ceremonies, crone ceremonies, just about any sort of ceremony that you can think of is contained in that book, and with examples of how to do the ceremonies, examples of music that you might want to add to the ceremonies, different readings that you may want to add, different poems that you might want to add. It's really an amazing book. It's like, it's been a couple of years since I did this training, and with that book, I feel confident with just a little bit of review that I can do any kind of ceremony that would be requested.
I was really impressed by how Annie and Jeremy and Stephanie had just taken so much time preparing everything. They had really painstakingly gone through all the different ceremonies and just listed out so many different things and resources, links for us to go check out, and literally written out a bunch of prayers for us to be able to use. It was just so much, it was so full of resources. The big, huge binder that we ended up walking away with was so full of resources. And I really felt like they had given us this huge toolkit and really explained everything very well. And I felt, because I walked in.
You learn that when you're officiating or holding space in a funeral or any kind of ritual, you're still going through your own process, and still, emotions and things are going to come up. But how do you honor that space with yourself while still showing up for the people that you need to show up for while you're doing this sacred service? So that was a really wonderful lesson that I learned as part of that program. That's also helped me outside of at work, at home, just being able to monitor how I'm feeling, check in with myself, and still be able to show up for someone else. So being able to hold that space was a very important personal growth moment for me. And also,
the biggest way that I have incorporated this in my work is the number one thing is to meet people where they're at. Because, when you're a minister, you're going to be called on to do, any number of these ceremonies. It could be something really fun like a wedding, or beautiful like a naming ceremony for a baby, or it could be something empowering like a coming of age ceremony, or it's going to be something sad like a funeral. This is your typical thing for a minister. The most important thing is that it's not about me.
I mean, I feel so much more prepared and ready and comfortable in myself, and being able to provide that service for others now, because I did the program online. They did it in person in Nashville, and I zoomed in from Dallas. So everything from creating the rituals, working with partners, and doing breath work all on Zoom. And that was my first time doing something like this over this long period of time on Zoom. And I thought I enjoyed the experience. It was different. I had to be mindful and create my space. I set up shop in my bedroom, so I had an uninterrupted area for the entire time that we were in circle. But besides logistics, it worked out very well. I definitely felt part of the group. They were really mindful of, making sure that I could hear, that everyone was visible on camera, so that I knew when to come back from breaks.
It's allowed me to do things that used to scare me to death, like singing in front of people without shaking.
Getting comfortable speaking in public. Through the program, we practice every ritual that's taught, and that practice comes with creating, writing the ceremony, kind of a mock ceremony, and then performing it in front of one another and getting that immediate feedback. So even just performing it on a regular basis and getting that practice really helped me to feel more comfortable speaking in public. I would say to anyone that's considering the Freedom, Focus, Soul Ministerial program, even if you don't think that you will ever officiate a wedding or ever, perform a baptism or any of those sacred rites or things like that, still consider doing it, because the skills that I've learned and the growth experience in the program have been just so helpful to me in my journey as a person.
I have done everything every program that Jeremy and Stephanie have offered, and some of them twice. And this is probably, in my experience, one of the best programs they have, if not the best.